On the 3rd of August, 1975, a 16-year-old Irene Shearban disappeared after attending a party not from her home. She was last seen in front of her residence in Hudson's Bay, Saskatchewan, at approximately 3 a.m. Extensive investigation and searches over the years have failed to locate Irene. There is little information available on her case. Number 3. Cody Wolf. Cody Wolf, a boy of First Nations descent, was 17 years old when he went missing on April 29, 2011 from Leastock, Saskatchewan. His last known location was at the Washout, which is north of Leastock town, adjacent to a First Nations reserve. He was going to a friend's place. Wolf's communication stopped after midnight, somewhere between his grandmother's house and a friend's house. RCMP believed Wolf had to find an alternative route around a slough because the road was washed out. Cody Wolf isn't the only member of his family who's gone missing. His aunt, Emily Osmond, has been gone for 9 years. Her search has been put on hold to focus on Cody. Courtney Struble. On the eve of July 8, 2004, a 13-year-old Courtney Janelle Struble was in her hometown of Estevan, Saskatchewan, Canada. Struble had just finished 8th grade. She was looking forward to starting high school in the fall, and she had aspirations of becoming either a hairdresser or a teacher. On the night of her disappearance, Courtney, along with a friend and his brother, watched a movie at the brother's parents' veterinarian clinic on the western outskirts of the city. Around midnight of July 8th, 9th, Courtney left the clinic. Her friend's older brother offered her a ride home to her dad's house, but she refused and opted to walk. Courtney was reportedly last seen in the vicinity of Highway 39 and Woodlawn Avenue North, known today as Sister Rhodey Road. 39 is a very busy highway in the province of Saskatchewan. The time of disappearance is disputed and has been reported as 11:30 p.m. on July 8th, according to the RCMP, released on May of 2016. And 12:30 a.m. on July 9th, according to a 2008 local news article. Also, her missing persons report says she went missing around 1 a.m. on July 9th. Struble, at the time of disappearance, was 13. She had hazel eyes, a birthmark on the nape of her neck, a scar on her shin. Investigators found Struble's stuffed animals, makeup, and wallets. She had also made plans with friends for later in the week and had a part-time job. Her bank account and health card never showed any activity after she disappeared. Some sources, including police, seemed to believe that Struble had run away, as her friends had mentioned her home life was not always ideal, as she had trouble with certain family members. This contributed to several rumors circulating at the time when she first went missing. In 2010, the case changed hands from local police to the RCMP, whose investigators deemed that Courtney was most likely a victim of homicide. Montgrand had gone to her sister's house in La Loche, Saskatchewan with some friends, and her sister wanted her to go home to her mom's house not far away. but she didn't want to. The next day, her mom came over and told her sister that Myrna never came home and to go look for her. She went to the cops and they said she was out playing with her friends, but she said she would come back, said LaPrice. Her and her mom would walk into the bush and look for her. Her mom looked and looked until the day she died. Saskatchewan RCMP said Myrna was spending time with a group of people at a party the night she disappeared and was last seen around 5 a.m. outside a home in Loloshi. Myrna was described as being fun to be around and loving. On the night of her disappearance, one witness said he was walking home around the time of her disappearance and he heard a girl screaming near a construction site. He said he heard the girl screaming out for her mom. People were drunk, coming out of a garage they were building. He said 5 or 6 people came out of the garage. Myrna's sister believes that her remains could be hidden under a bar or garage that was built on the site, and she doesn't know why police didn't follow up the lead at the time. She is hoping the site will be excavated and her sister's remains will be found. Tamra Jewel Keepness. Tamra's mom often speaks about how smart her daughter was and how she was loving and brave and smart. Going off what is known about Tamra's disappearance, on the night she disappeared, her and all 6 children of Lorraine Keepness were at their home. According to media reports, an argument broke out between Tamra's mom and her partner, MacArthur. He left and ran into Russell Sheepskin after the dispute, who was an occasional resident of the house. Together they went out for drinks, while Tamra's mom stayed at home. After sending her children to bed upstairs, Lorraine Keepness, Tamra's mom, went to a friend's house 1 block away while her oldest child stayed with the children. Lorraine Keepness was reported to be drinking at this time as well. Sheepskin eventually came back to the residence to make a meal for himself. There's evidence of him making a meal, however, he does not remember this. During which time, he checked on the children at around midnight. Sheepskin said the children were sleeping in the living room. Before leaving the residence, Sheepskin said MacArthur beat him up so badly he was forced to get stitches at the hospital. According to police reports, a fight between MacArthur and Sheepskin broke out at approximately 3 a.m. Lorraine Keepness came home shortly after this, finding the doors locked. She entered the house through a window. She may have noticed Tamra's twin, and Summer sleeping on the couch when she came in before going upstairs to sleep herself. MacArthur said he went to his aunt's house to sleep in the early morning. The next day, according to Keepness, Tamra's sibling Rain felt Tamar get up from the bed and leaving. In the early morning, one of Tamra's siblings was sent to go wake her up, where she could not be found, and the family contacted police. After contacting police was the largest in Regina's history. What happened next was the largest search in Regina's history. At the time of her disappearance, police said there was no signs of forced entry or struggle in the home. In the past decade, since Tamra's disappearance, the police have received more than 1,700 tips and have conducted hours of interviews. Since June 2014, there has been a $50,000 reward for information about Tamara's whereabouts. According to her mom, an Amber Alert was only released days after Tamara had disappeared. A spokesperson with the Regina Police Service indicated at the time that the circumstances of Tamara's disappearance did not meet the criteria for an Amber Alert. Tamara's mom wholeheartedly believes that her daughter is out there somewhere, alive.